Hello and welcome to episode number 81 of WITM Season 5. And following Takeover 25, which was in the previous episode, it is now time to turn our attention to the next main roster pay-per-view, which will be in the next episode, and that will be Super Showdown, which means this episode will be chock full of build-up to Super Showdown, and by the end of the episode, we will reveal the Super Showdown card and know what WITM members will be competing in matches, possibly for titles, at Super Showdown. And we kick things off, as always, with Monday Night Raw, but we're actually going to kick things off with two SmackDown superstars competing against each other on Raw because both WITM's Ayat Master as well as Andrade were two of the four wildcards from SmackDown Live chosen to compete on Raw this week, and the game booked Ayat Master and Andrade to face each other. And so they will be our first match in this episode and open up Monday Night Raw. And then we will finally get to see the Raw Tag Team Champions, the Bank Robbers, return to action. They're going to be teaming up with the now former NXT Champion and now Raw exclusive superstar, Captain Casey, 1/3 of the Blade Runners. We'll get to why there's a third member of the Blade Runners a little bit later on in the episode. They'll be taking on the team of The Miz as well as Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder in non-title action. So let's go ahead and dive into our first match of the episode. Two wildcards from SmackDown compete on the rival brand Monday Night Raw, and there's quite a bit at stake out here because I'll need to go into outside the menu for that. But Ayat Master is the current number 1 contender to the Intercontinental title. Andrade is the number 2 contender to the Intercontinental title. Now, of course, we still have SmackDown and things can change on there, but what we do know is that the winner of this match will come out of Raw at least and head into the Go Home SmackDown, the number 1 contender to Shelton Benjamin's Intercontinental title, and of course whoever ends the week in that number 1 slot will take on Shelton Benjamin for the Intercontinental title at Super Showdown, so a lot at stake in this match. Also, due to popular demand, I will once again be doing commentary during matches. I'll still turn off the mic during the entrances so there's no background noise interfering with the music or anything. But once the match begins, you will be hearing my voice commentating once again. And I should probably turn down the in-game announcers a little bit before we get into this match. I'm going to head off screen and do that. And then the next thing you will see will be Ayat Master versus Andrade for the right to walk out of Raw, the number 1 contender to the Intercontinental title. Let's get to it.
El ídolo. Marcando la diferencia. Lo de hoy. Lo del momento.
there's a bell. This match is underway. Andrade spent about 1 week as a member of Monday Night Raw following the Superstar shakeup, and then because Zelina Vega, his business manager, is married to SmackDown superstar Aleister Black, they were moved back to SmackDown. For AOT Master, this is his first time competing on Raw. Of course, he and Andrade are wild cards appearing from SmackDown Live, looking to come out of Raw, the number one contender to the Intercontinental title, and control their own destiny, heading into the Go Home SmackDown. Here's Andrade with a suplex and a kick to the back of AOT Master, and a little bit of a botched elbow strike there by AOT Master, but still manages to connect. There's a right from AOT Master and a neck breaker into the knee. Now Master drags Andrade a little bit closer to center ring and goes into mounted punches. AOT Master's gotten so many opportunities to compete for titles, but has yet to hold a title since coming onto the main roster, so you know he wants to win this match and capitalize on the opportunity to face Shelton Benjamin for the Intercontinental title at Super Showdown. There's an arm drag by Andrade. Now Andrade drags AOT Master into the corner. Andrade heads to the middle rope. What does he have in mind here? Neck breaker from the middle ropes to the head of AOT Master. Now he pulls him up to his feet. Of course, a bit of a size difference. AOT Master about twice the size of Andrade, but AOT Master, or rather Andrade, seems to be holding his own pretty well so far early in this match. There's a reversal by Master. Master is currently last place in the WITM standings as well. You know, he'd like to change that. There's a slam from Master. Misses with a stomp to the feet. That allows Andrade an opening for the Hurricane Rana. Master put up to his feet, but is able to reverse and get Andrade down to the ground. And now Master, as he loves to do, antagonizing his opponent and the WWE Universe. Andrade back to his feet, connects with a shoulder block, now comes off the ropes and overshoots AOT Master with that diving move. Looking for another springboard attack and completely misses AOT Master and eats the canvas. And that allows Master to try to get back to his feet when being kicked in the back and forced right back down. Master launched across the ring, and Andrade is going to take a moment to do the Tranquilo pose. Now Master on the apron. Andrade misses with a grapple attempt, but does manage to punch Master onto the outside. Will he join him there? Yes, he will. Throws a kick to the chest of Master. The Master still gets back to his feet, misses with the cross chop, but connects with the body kick. Now both men back into the ring. There's a kick to the chest. Andrade forces to the corner, and Master immediately slamming the head of Andrade into that top turnbuckle. Trying to wear it down for a future gun stun that I decided to call the kill shot, the finisher of AOT Master. And now crushing the ankles of Andrade and now forcing him to his feet. AOT Master eliminated the first signature here, the death punch, and it connects. Will he go kill shot? No, he's looking for a cover. And death punch is all AOT Master is going to need to walk out of this match the winner, and still the number one contender to the Intercontinental title, heading into the go home match. Alright, so a solid and important victory for AOT Master. All it took was one death punch to put away the number 2 contender to the Intercontinental title, Andrade, making sure that AI Master it remains in control of his own destiny. He will head into the Go Home SmackDown Live immediately following Raw, the number 1 contender to the Intercontinental title, just 4 days before Super Showdown. And now we turn our attention to the tag team division, where we will see the Raw Tag Team Champions, the Bank Robbers team, with their friend, 1/3 of the Blade Runners and former NXT champion Captain Casey, to take on The Miz and Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder. We also have major implications in this match. Captain Casey comes into this match following his loss, the number 2 contender to Brock Lesnar's Universal title. If Casey picks up a win here, that will likely be enough to propel him back to the number 1 contendership just 5 days before Super Showdown, where Brock Lesnar will put that Universal title on the line. Of course, for the Bank Robbers, they want to build up momentum heading into their next Raw Tag Team defense, which I believe will be in a week or two on Raw. And then, of course, Hawkins and Ryder want to get themselves into the mix for that title shot. And The Miz also would like to potentially put his name in the hat to face Lesnar at Super Showdown. So a lot at stake in this match for all 6 men involved. Let's get to it. The Bank Robbers return to action alongside Captain Casey to take on The Miz and Hawkins and Ryder.
Quiet on the set. Can we please have quiet on the set?
Awesome! I came to play. There's a price to pay. Time for you to get down on your knees and pray. You say goodbye to the good old days. They're never coming back. Watch your future fade. I came to play. Get my dues paid. I guess you had a dream, but it can't be saved. I came to play. There's a price to pay. Time for you to get down on your knees and pray. You say goodbye to the good old days. They're never coming back. Watch your future fade. I came to play to get my dues paid. I guess you had a dream, but it can't be saved. I came to play. Run away if you see me. Don't even say my name. Don't think that you can know me. Don't try and play that game. Every day that I get better, I watch as you get worse. My script is to the letter, and I'll write your final verse. I am here to stay.
And his partners at a combined weight of 400.
Tell me everything you know. I will believe your every word. Just tell me so. I like to sing with the radio. I like to play it real loud. I
there's the bell. This match is underway. Captain Casey is going to get things started off for himself and the bank robbers. Miz will get things started off for his team. These are two guys who are looking to be the man to face Brock Lesnar for the Universal title at Super Showdown. So this match means a lot to them and their hopes and ambitions. Miz with a slam to Casey forces him to his feet. Casey, of course, just about 48 hours removed from the loss of his NXT title to Roderick Strong at TakeOver 25, looking to recover here and set his sights on a bigger prize, the Universal title held by the Beast Incarnate. Miz attacks the arm of Casey. Casey's able to quickly get out of the hold and take some punches to the shoulder of Miz before getting back to his feet and connecting with a neck breaker. Casey forces Miz to his feet and forces Miz into his team's corner. Casey was likely looking for a double team attack, but that's going to be broken up by the Miz. Miz again forced into the opponent's corner. And now Casey will get that double team attack with Dalton Roush. And they just throw Miz across the ring. Now Dalton, the legal man for his team. He takes a bow, paying a little homage to his old premier talent persona. There's a stomp to the knee, and now to the arm. Big technical offense by Dalton, but there's a huge big boot by Miz. And now it's Miz dragging Dalton closer to his team's corner. And in comes Zack Ryder. Ryder and Hawkins have seen a little bit of a career renaissance since becoming a tag team once again. Raw Tag Team champions for a while in real life. They would love to do the same here in WITM. A win here over the Raw Tag Team champions would be a huge step towards that goal. Ryder forced into his team's corner, but he forces Dalton into his own corner. Dalton is able to get out with a reversal. Now it's Ryder forced into his opponent's corner. Once again, he's able to reverse. Ryder doing a good job making sure that Dalton cannot get off that double team attack he was looking for. Now Ryder forces Dalton into working hold position and connects with a kick to the back. And in comes his tag team partner, Kurt Hawkins, who finally broke his massive losing streak in real life at WrestleMania when he became one after the Raw Tag Team champions. There's a stomp to chest of Dalton, submission locked in, targeting the head of Dalton. But it's too early in the match, and Dalton will quickly break the hold. Hawkins has Dalton on his shoulders in a fireman's carry position and plunges him into the top rope. Dalton tries to get to his corner for a punchy tag and does. Dalton will be out of play for his team for about a full minute or so. But Captain Casey is fired up as a legal man for his side.
The most important things to remember is knowing when to
knowing what's at stake here. Casey targets the ankle of Hawkins. Now forces him to his feet. And there is the pepperoni twist of fate. Or twist of pepperoni, I'm not sure. One of the two. And it nearly puts away Hawkins, and he powers out at 2. Casey getting fired up. Is he on his way to Super Showdown take on the Beast Incarnate? I'm sure Paul Heyman and Lesnar are somewhere backstage keeping a close eye on this match. Hawkins busted open. Casey goes for the cover. And Miz breaks it up at 2. Now Casey heads to the outside. Back into the ring. That's more than enough time for Hawkins to reverse. Roush up into Hawkins' team's corner, and in comes Miz for a double team attack. Wise move by Hawkins at following being bloodied up to get the tag immediately. Miz Roush rips Casey into his team's corner and hits the move in the corner. Gets caught on that bottom rope a little bit there, but makes his way back into the ring regardless. Casey forced onto the apron right next to his opponents and brought right back into the ring by Miz. Now forced up. Roush into the corner, and yet again a corner attack by Miz. Casey trying to get to his team for a mercy tag, but can't quite get there. Stopped by Miz with a foot DDT. Now Miz forces Casey to his feet.
He's got to remember he has two partners ready to enter the fray here. Well, he's clearly not used to the slam.
And hits the DDT, plunging Casey headfirst into that canvas, and Miz getting fired up. He wants Lesnar at Super Showdown as well. There's a reversal by Casey.
Here he goes.
And there's the soda pop.
Shoulders down, this could be it.
But Hawkins distracting the referee, but he still managed to start the count, but it's too late.
No, he kicks out.
It nearly puts away Miz and secures Casey a Universal title match, but
Tagged in.
Miz powers out just in the nick of time, and here comes DJ Rage.
Not so fast.
Miz gets back to his feet and reverses with an elbow straight to the chest.
And see.
Miz looking for the skull-crushing finale, but Rage is able to reverse it. That's a huge momentum swing in favor of DJ Rage. There's an eat defeat to the head of Miz, and now Rage looking for a spear, and it
You
connects.
don't perform a move like that unless you're looking to
Is this going to put away Miz? He sustained a lot of damage, but Ryder is able to break up the cover at 2 by accidentally taking out the official. Rage disposes of Ryder by tossing him outside. And Miz now forced into his opponent's corner. Was able to reverse and avoid the double team attack. Now Miz returns to favor by forcing Rage in his corner, where Hawkins then has advantage.
inside the ring. While working with Saxton at ringside.
And Miz just flips Rage into the air, and that will give Miz more than enough time to bring in Zack Ryder. Pretty healthy Zack Ryder. Now Rage forced to his feet
In control.
and hits a swinging neck breaker. Is Ryder. Rage wants the emergency tag, but Ryder is able to stop it with a series of stomps. Now forces Rage up. Roush into Ryder's team's corner, and Rage is able to quickly reverse. Now Rage looking to return the favor, but Ryder fights it off with some elbow strikes to the chest.
The WWE locker room better be ready to throw down when Zack
There's a
Ryder's
kick
on
to
top.
the leg of
As the man
Rage.
himself likes to say, the Long Island IC is ready for a fight 24/7, 365.
And he connects with the neck breaker. Dalton puts his hand out for mercy tag, but I don't think Rage knows where he is right now.
And you know, I believe the superstars who
But he does connect with an arm
down
drag.
at any point during this match. You know, there's an art to being
Super kick by Rage. And here we go. Triple powerbomb paying homage to the now disbanded Shield.
And you can never say never.
DJ Rage is going to do the honors with some help from Dalton and Casey.
The interview I conducted with Long Island IZ for WWE.com. I'll say this.
Triple powerbomb to Zack Ryder. Is this going to be enough to secure a big win for the Bank Robbers and Casey? Casey
He breaks the pin.
had an opportunity to clear Hawkins out of the ring, but for some reason walked away. And that's going to allow this match to continue as Rage takes care of business himself and takes Hawkins out. Now turns his attention to Ryder.
In off the tag.
Leaves basically a carcass of Zack Ryder for Dalton Roush. And a stomp to the arm. Dalton's getting fired up. Ryder forced his feet but is able to reverse and get back on the attack. But Dalton reverses Ryder into his own team's corner, where Ryder is able to reverse himself and now has Dalton set up for the, I believe it's called Long Island Boot, and that connects.
What a move. The W is within grasp for Zack Ryder.
Now Ryder looking for the Rough Rider.
This is it.
Rough Rider connects. Is this going to result in an upset victory for Ryder, Hawkins, and Miz?
Gets the shoulder up.
No, Dalton powers out at 2.
Fight. And that's exactly
Now Dalton
what
forced his
you
feet, and he turned momentum back into his team's favor. This is a very crucial
Tag in.
match, especially for Captain Casey. I'm sure the bank robbers would love to help their friend get that shot at Lesnar. Dalton just simply shoves Kurt Hawkins aside, who is now the legal man for his side. Irish whip into the corner. And a punch to the head of Hawkins, so that bloodied head of Hawkins. Just definitely something to keep an eye on. Now Dalton targeting the arm of Hawkins, bending it back as far as he can. There's a stomp to the chest. And Hawkins able to get back up and reverse. Dalton Irish whips him into an empty corner. What does Dalton have in mind here as he forces Hawkins to the top turnbuckle? Is he thinking outside superplex? Yes, he is. Outside superplex to Kurt Hawkins. Dalton, knowing how big this match is for himself, his opponents, and especially Captain Casey, and he's going to pull out all the stops to make sure that his side gets that victory and Casey gets that match with Lesnar.
Zack Ryder makes the tag.
In comes Zack Ryder. As the legal man for his side. Irish whip into the ropes. And a huge arm breaker by Ryder. Now tries to force Dalton into his team's corner. Can't get him all the way there, so force him into working hold position instead. Now to his feet.
Both teams working well here together.
Ryder trying to target the arm of Dalton, but uses his free arm to reverse with a punch. Now it's Dalton looking to force Ryder into his team's corner. Can't get him all the way there, so goes into working hold and kicks him in the back. There's a drop kick by Ryder. Rage wants the emergency tag. Can Dalton get there? No. Stopped by Ryder with a stomp to the back. And Ryder launches Dalton into the ropes. Ryder's getting tired. Can he keep up the offense?
And unfortunately for him, it's not looking so great right now.
So far, so good for Ryder. Despite being tired, he hits the neck breaker and he takes a moment to fire up the WWE Universe. Dalton connects with a reversal, though, with a gut kick. There's another gut kick and a clubbing blow to the back. That puts Ryder right in his team's corner where he almost got the emergency tag. But Dalton wisely drags him away from that corner.
I don't know how much more these superstars can take, guys.
There's an axe handle to the back. Now Ryder forced up. Baby Rock bottom connects. Is this going to secure a victory for the bank robbers and Casey? Yes, it does. Huge victory for the bank robbers and Casey. And that should be enough to move Casey up to the #1 contendership to the Universal title.
Oh, I can't believe this.
And the bank robbers' victory, Captain Casey hears a familiar voice. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman, the advocate for the Beast Incarnate and the Universal Champion Brock Lesnar has made his way to the ring. Paul Heyman is in the ring to address Captain Casey. Are we about to have a confirmed Universal title match, a Super Showdown between Captain Casey and the Universal Champion Lesnar? Let's find out. And I am the advocate for the reigning, defending, undisputed Universal Heavyweight Champion of the world, Brock Lesnar. And do I need to even begin at why Captain Casey facing my client, Brock Lesnar for the Universal title at Super Showdown is a real bad idea for Captain Casey. I mean, look at the guy. He weighs what? 140 pounds? And he couldn't even handle Roddy Strong? So what do you think is going to happen when he takes on the Beast? Have you seen what happens when a sedan gets hit by a locomotive train head on? That's what's going to happen when Casey faces Brock Lesnar at Super Showdown. So Casey, I'm warning you as a genuinely concerned man. Why don't you see if you can have a friendly match with your pal Jack for the United States title? Or go find Drew Gulak and face him for the 24/7 title. Or better yet, head to 205 Live. Be safe, and think about how sad it would be for your career to end halfway across the world just months into your career. Because if you dare to try to take on my beast, your career will end in Suplex City, Saudi Arabia. And that's not a prediction, that's a spoiler. Sounds like the Universal title match between Captain Casey and Brock Lesnar at Super Showdown is on. That is, if Casey accepts it, will he take Paul's advice and seek another title, or will he accept a challenge against Lesnar? Let's find out. Paul, you can try to threaten me and talk about how good Brock is all you want. And I'm not going to lie. Brock is an intimidating opponent. He is the champion and the Beast Incarnate for a reason. But there are several qualities that I have that even Brock doesn't possess. Sure, I may not be the biggest dog in any fight, but I actually care about this business and these fans, and I'm not just here to collect a paycheck and then go count my stacks of cash at home like your client does. And I have family and friends in my corner, not someone like you, who ran his company into the ground and now earns his living by hyping up superstars he can make a quick buck off of. And after Super Showdown, where I become the newest Beast Slayer and the new Universal Champion, you can bet I'm going to show up on Raw each and every Monday night and give the WWE Universe what it's been craving for a long time. A real Universal Champion that's going to remind everyone what a real champion is like. And that's not a prediction, that's a spoiler. Alright, it sounds like the match of Super Showdown is on. How will Paul Heyman respond? And is Brock waiting in the wings somewhere? Well, I'll give you this, kid. You may have a small frame, but it carries some big ol' kahunas. So then, even after all of those warnings I just gave you, you still want the Beast. Be careful what you wish for, pal. Alright, so let's break down everything that just happened. First, the bank robbers and Captain Casey did in fact pick up that crucial victory over The Miz, Kurt Hawkins, and Zack Ryder that will, one, make sure that the bank robbers have even more momentum heading into their next Raw Tag Title defense, and two, propels Captain Casey to the Universal Championship #1 contendership. Then, the advocate for the reigning Universal Champion Brock Lesnar, Paul Heyman, made his way to the ring immediately after he realized that Casey was still #1 contender, warned Casey not to challenge Lesnar Super Showdown for the Universal title. Casey wants to challenge him anyway, and Lesnar was in fact at Raw as we saw Casey and Lesnar brawling on the entrance ramp and being separated by WWE officials and security. So it is official. Brock Lesnar has been the Universal title ever since the man on your screen, Dalton Roush, lost the Universal title. Captain Case will have the opportunity to avenge Dalton and finally have a new Universal Champion crowned at Super Showdown in the main event. I'm sure we're all pulling for a Captain Casey. We're ready for a new Universal Champion, but that is going to have to wait until the next episode. We still have a lot of action left on this episode, including a lot more Super Showdown build-up. So let's get into our results and rankings update for Raw. For some reason, it is not showing that match, but the opening match was a Master wildcard from SmackDown defeating fellow wildcard Andrade. Andrade will go into the Go Home SmackDown Live, the number one contender to the Intercontinental title, held by Shelton Benjamin. Then the Lucha House Party, represented by Kalisto and Gran Metalik, defeated the Ascension. And our second WITM match on this Raw card, the Bank Robbers and Captain Casey defeated The Miz, Kurt Hawkins, and Zack Ryder. Eric Young defeated Titus O'Neil, and I'm not sure why I'm showing a picture of The Miz for Titus O'Neil, but it was O'Neil that Eric Young defeated, not The Miz. Lacey Evans picked up a non-title victory over Raw Women's Champion Natalya. That's going to be good for at least 2 spots for Evans. AJ Styles defeated Bobby Lashley. And in the main event, the other 2 wild cards from SmackDown, Kofi Kingston and Elias, faced off, and it was Kofi Kingston that picked up the victory. And how does that affect the rankings on Raw, as well as for the 4 SmackDown wildcards, their rankings? Let's find out. The Women's Tag Team Champions are the Iconics. Number 1 contenders, the Kabuki Warriors. Number 2, Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. In Women's Singles Wrestling, the Raw Women's Champion is Natalya. Number 1 contender, Lacey Evans. Number 2, Dana Brooke. Number 3, Nikki Cross. Number 4, Tamina. Number 5, Naomi. Number 6, Alicia Fox. And number 7, Becky Lynch. And it seems like Alexa Bliss has returned to wrestling following her brief injury. So let me go ahead and add her real quick while I'm thinking about it. Just so that all the divisions are correct. There we go. So Alexa Bliss, or actually no, Lacey Evans should be number 1 contender because she got a non-title victory. So Evans is still number 1 contender, but Alexa Bliss now slots into number 2. Dana Brooke is 3rd, Nikki Cross 4th, number 5 Tamina, number 6 Naomi, Alicia Fox 7, and Becky Lynch 8th. The Raw Tag Team Champions are the Bank Robbers. Number 1 contenders, the Revival. Number 2, Lucha House Party. Number 3, Gallows Anderson. Number 4, the Viking Raiders. Number 5, the Usos. Number 6, Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder. And number 7, the Ascension. The United States Champion is Jack. Number 1 contender, Cesaro. I'm not sure if the U.S. title is going to be defended at Super Showdown or not, but if it is, it will most likely be Cesaro that will be Jack's opponent unless something changes on Raw's Winner Show main event. Number 2 contender is Eric Young. Number 3, Mojo Rawley. Number 4, Robert Roode. Number 5, Cedric Alexander. Number 6, Titus O'Neil. Number 7, Samoa Joe. Number 8, Jinder Mahal. Number 9, EC3. Number 10, Ricochet. Number 11, Noe Jose. Number 12, Heath Slater. The Universal Champion is Brock Lesnar, number 1 contender, and his confirmed opponent for Super Showdown, WITM's own Captain Casey. That's likely going to be the main event of Super Showdown, and we are all pulling for Casey to finally have us a new Universal Champion here in WITM. Number 2 is Drew McIntyre. Number 3, AJ Styles. Number 4, Seth Rollins. Number 5, Braun Strowman. Number 6, Baron Corbin. Number 7, The Miz. Number 8, Sami Zayn. And number 9, Bobby Lashley. And also, where do the 4 wild cards from that appeared for SmackDown Live sit? We're not going to do a full rankings update for SmackDown. We're just going to show where the wild cards are following Raw. Master, following his victory, remains number 1 contender to the Intercontinental title. The man he defeated, Andrade, falls to number 3. The number 1 contender to the WWE title, thanks to his victory over Elias, is now the real-life champion, Kofi Kingston. And the man he defeated, Elias, is number 5 in the Intercontinental title division. And now we move on to SmackDown Live, which means it's time for me to head off screen and find out which 4 superstars from Raw will be appearing on SmackDown as wildcards. Could we see the Bank Robbers, Captain Casey, or Jack in action as wildcards on SmackDown? And will we see AI Master and or Corey in action? Let's find out in just a moment. Okay, so now it is time for SmackDown Live, and we have two WITM matches for you on the card. The first of which will feature the United States Champion Jack, who didn't get a chance to appear on his own brand Raw, but was chosen randomly as one of the 4 wildcards from Raw to compete on this edition of SmackDown Live. He will be taking on 2 fellow wildcards from Raw, Eric Young and Samoa Joe, as well as SmackDown's Finn Balor in a fatal 4-way match, looking to gain some more momentum as United States Champion heading into his next title defense. And then, for the 5th week in a row, I swear I'm not booking this myself, this is just how the game wants Corey booked. Corey will be competing in the main event of SmackDown Live, of course accompanied by the 2 mysterious masked men, the Reaper on the left and the Hardcore Icon on the right, and he'll be taking on the big dog, Roman Reigns, in the main event. A little something different from facing Kevin Owens every week at least. So, let's dive into our first match. Actually, not quite yet, because I hear there was some sort of altercation involving a certain WITA member and one of the 2 men in this match. So let's go into some bonus coverage and see just what happened.
Making his way to the ring from Oyster, South Carolina, weighing in at
Here we go.
Alright, so Shelton Benjamin making his way to the ring to take on wildcard from Raw, The Miz. The number 1 contender to his title, AI Master, has jumped him from behind during his entrance. And now AI Master destroying the Intercontinental Champion on the entrance ramp. AI Master trying to make a statement here, as he will most likely face Benjamin for the Intercontinental title at Super Showdown, pending what happens on the rest of this card. But here comes Benjamin, trying his best to fight him off, but Master just overpowering him with a power bomb right on the exposed steel at the bottom of that entrance ramp. Master making a statement. Okay, so we just witnessed this match not happening because the number 1 contender to Shelton Benjamin's Intercontinental title, WITM's AI Master, attacked Shelton Benjamin with a steel chair during his entrance and then powerbombed him at the bottom of the entrance ramp where there was exposed steel. AI Master looking to make a statement to the Intercontinental Champion, the man that he will most likely face for the Intercontinental title in 3 Universe days at Super Showdown. But now we turn our attention from SmackDown's mid-level title picture to Raw's, because the United States Champion Jack is making an appearance on SmackDown Live as a wild card, taking on 2 fellow wild cards from Raw, Eric Young and Samoa Joe, as well as SmackDown Live's Finn Balor in a fatal 4-way match. Can Jack pick up more momentum as United States Champion, or will it be Eric Young, Samoa Joe, or Finn Balor picking up a big victory to move up in their respective divisions? Let's find out and get our first of 2 WITM matches on this SmackDown card underway.
Here comes the danger up in this club. When we get started, man, we ain't gon' stop. We gon' turn it out till it gets too hot. Everybody sing, hey, yo. Tell them turn it out till they can't no more. Let's get this thing
And
shaking
from the
like a
ring,
disco
County
ball.
Wicklow,
This is your last one and a
weighing in
courtesy call.
at 241 pounds, the United
Here comes the
States
danger
champion,
up in this
the
club.
legend
When we
killer,
get started, man, we ain't gon'
Jack
stop. We gon' turn it out till it gets too hot. Everybody sing, hey, yo. Tell 'em turn it out till they can't no more. Let's get this thing shaking like a disco ball. This is your last one and a courtesy call. I am not afraid of the storm that comes my way. When it hits, it shakes me to the core and makes me stronger than before. It's not a question about trust, but we stand with us. Can you feel it? Make it real. Oh, I think it might wash away tonight. Awaken from this never ending.
One of the most imposing figures in all.
The bell has sounded. This match is underway. United States Champion Jack is going to start off by going after the now former real-life United States Champion Samoa Joe. Finn Balor and Eric Young fighting near the apron. Joe forces Jack to his feet and hits a series of jabs, and now has him up on a fireman's carry position and hits a back body drop. There's a stomp to the chest of Jack. We do not yet know if Jack will defend the U.S. title at Super Showdown or not, but either way, wants to build up momentum regardless, heading to whenever his next U.S. title defense is. There's an elbow drop by Jack, and a stomp to the leg. Stomp to the arm as Young and Balor fight it out on the outside. Of course, this is a no disqualification match. They can fight on the outside as long as they please and use weapons. Jack locks in a submission on Joe, and that caused Balor and Young to make their way back to the ring. Now Young sent tumbling outside as Balor and Jack temporarily work together to try to take out, of course, the biggest threat in this match, Samoa Joe. And finally, they managed to take Joe out and now turn their attention to each other. Balor with a neck breaker to Jack as Young makes his way back into the ring. Of course, Eric Young, the former leader of Sandy, which was split up by the Superstar Shakeup, he now must find his own way without a stable backing him up as a singles competitor. Eric Young in the corner taunting the WWE Universe, and that allows Jack to connect with a massive suplex, and then he takes out Balor. Jack continues to target Balor, this time with mounted punches. And now a stomp to the head of Balor. Jack with good technical offense here, wrenching the head of Balor, and there's a stomp to the chest. Now a stomp to the arm. Jack just really going to town, wearing down Finn Balor, but Balor's finally able to evade Jack, but Jack goes right back on the attack. Relentless offense against Finn Balor. As Joe and Young take their fight back on the outside, Jack forces Balor into the corner, and Balor is finally able to reverse a maneuver of Jack's to get out of the corner, but Jack goes right back on the attack. Jack looking very strong early on in this match, and connects with a choke slam. Is this going to lead Jack to a pretty quick victory in a fatal four-way match? It nearly does, but Balor is able to power out at about 2.5. Now, Joe is laid on the outside, and Eric Young and Balor fight out inside the ring. Jack quickly returns, and Joe returns as well as Balor is sent on the outside. Jack turns his attention to Eric Young. He's looking for the three Union Amigos. And the Union Amigos connect, but Samoa Joe is trying to capitalize off of Jack's offense. quickly broken up by Jack, but there's a huge choke slam by Joe, giving Jack a taste of his own medicine. And that nearly puts Jack away, but he powers out at 2. There's a kick to the back. Jack laid out by Joe, and Jack's going to take some time on the outside to recover as Eric Young misses a diving elbow drop attempt on his fellow TNA alumni, Samoa Joe. Balor with the Falcon Arrow to Joe, now thinking coup de grace. Coup de grace connects from Balor to Joe, but Eric Young lays out Balor before he can capitalize. Jack is back into the ring trying to capitalize on Balor's coup de grace, but that's quickly broken up. And Joe tosses Jack across the ring. Samoa Joe setting up for likely a coquina clutch, but wasn't able to get the move to connect, and now he turns attention to Jack. Jack ushered into the corner by Joe. And Jack is stopped midway, tripping over Balor. And now he goes on the attack. A reversal by Joe. Enziguri by Joe is when we send Jack tumbling outside. Balor was looking for the win, but Joe was able to break it up. Joe and Balor, the lone two men, as for some reason Balor circles Joe a few times. Not sure what's going on there. Joe goes for cover with all 3 opponents down, but Balor immediately powers out, and Joe is starting to feel tired. They keep up the attack. Clothesline by Joe. He went to the corner to try to taunt, but didn't realize Eric Young was right behind him. Now Jack has made his way back into the ring. He's biding his time. Balor heading back in as well. Balor may be looking for another coup de grace. No, this time it's a different diving attack. And that connected as Eric Young sends Jack on to the outside, and they'll fight it out at ringside. That allows Balor an opportunity to go for cover. And Joe powers out at 2. As Jack runs back into the ring to try to prevent Balor from winning. Looking for another choke slam. It connects. Joe forced back up. Is he thinking 3 Union Amigos? Yes, he is. 3 Union Amigos. Balor trying to prevent Jack from connecting with the 3rd one, and does. Jack gets the 3rd one anyway, just a little bit later. And now Jack turns attention to Balor. Jack has completely cleared the ring of all 3 opponents, and why not celebrate that? But he has to get someone back inside the ring to finish this match, and he chooses Finn Balor. Balor reverses, and a flying punch is going to send Jack crashing into the mat at ringside. Now Jack sent under the ropes, and there's a punch to the head of Jack, and now all 4 men make their way back into the ring. Eric Young connects with a neck breaker, and someone was busted open. I believe that was Finn Balor. Young goes for cover, and that was immediately broken up by Samoa Joe, and it is indeed Finn Balor that was busted open. Jack taking a bit of time to get up here. All these men are pretty wounded. Which one of these men is going to pick up a victory? I'm sure will go a long way in the standings, and in Jack's case will go a long way to putting momentum into his next title defense. As Jack is sent raiding onto the outside, Eric Young, definitely a massive underdog in this match, is really holding his own so far. He's going for the win. And Joe powers out at 2. Now Jack is back into the ring. Suplex to Eric Young, but immediately kicked down to the mat by Samoa Joe. Suplex by Joe. And he's starting to get tired. Can he keep up the offense, or can Jack turn that in his favor? Now Joe looking for the Coquina clutch, but Finn Balor keeping a close eye. He is going to instead attack Jack, but actually kind of does him a favor doing that because that breaks up the Coquina clutch. Samoa Joe is looking for the Muscle Buster, and Balor punches Jack right out of the hands of Samoa Joe. That's one way to break up a finisher. Now Young's back into the ring as well as Jack heads to the outside to try to regroup. Joe breaks up a signature attempt by Balor. Joe with a headbutt to Jack, and Jack once again heads on the outside trying to regroup. He misses with a punch from Joe. Now they just kind of shove each other. And Jack sends Joe to the outside and will go after him there. Now Jack laid on the apron, or rather Jack lays out Joe on the apron and Joe quickly gets back up. Huge powerbomb by Jack to Samoa Joe, but that took about all of Jack's energy, and that is a perfect opportunity for Eric Young standing right behind him. And Jack is on the outside, and Eric Young tries to capitalize off of the offense that Jack did to Samoa Joe. Does Eric Young steal the victory here? No, Joe powers out at 2.5.
Look at the look on his opponent's face, Cole. He can't believe it. He's capable of turning it on, and he's got to make sure he doesn't fade fast.
Jack slowly trying to compose himself as his three opponents fight out inside the ring. Now Joe is going to be sent tumbling outside. That's Eric Young and Finn Balor fighting out in the ring. Balor looking for a super, or rather a power bomb to Young, but broken up by Young. As Jack finally gets to his feet and makes his way back to the ring, colliding with Young. Young looking for something from the middle rope. Jack tried to break it up, but failed. He'll just simply watch now and see what Young does to Balor before going after Young. With yet another choke slam. And now a foot DDT. Samoa Joe has made his way back to the ring. Jack sees him and punches him in the chest twice. Samoa Joe hits an elbow to the head. That's going to bust Jack open. Not what you want to see to a United States champion. He cannot afford to suffer an injury and go into his next defense with an injury. So definitely something to keep an eye on. There's a back body drop from Samoa Joe.
And no walk against Joe there. It's like he tapped into something.
Choke slam from Joe to Young. Then Balor will now go after the bloodied Jack. Both of those men are bloody. Eric Young sent pointing outside by Joe. Balor thought about going after Jack instead. Chose to go after Joe instead. That's going to cost him because Joe locks in the Coquina clutch.
You simply can never count out Samoa Joe.
To a bloodied Finn Balor. And it's locked in well. No, Jack and Young aren't able to do anything about it right now. And I thought Joe won the match, but the match is still going, so apparently Balor didn't tap. It just kind of looked like he did. And Jack hits the 3 Union Amigos. That's going to take care of Samoa Joe, but now Eric Young is back into the ring. Not sure Jack realizes that, and he's trying to put away Samoa Joe, but Eric Young immediately breaks it up. Young with a slam. All 3 men laid out. Balor's trying to crawl over and break up the cover, and does. And that's going to send Jack to the outside. Young now with a huge opportunity with all 3 opponents laid out. Not so fast. Balor with the kip up. And now Joe is back to his feet as Balor is sent on the outside. And now Joe with a great opportunity to finish off Young with Jack and Balor laid out. Sends Young to the apron.
Things are not looking
Young is able to reverse. Joe with a jab as Jack makes his way back to the ring. Misses with a punch to Joe, but does connect with several punches to Eric Young, and that's going to bust open Young. This is turned to a very bloody and violent contest as Jack looking for his fourth choke slam of the match. Broken up by Joe, who won the coquina clutch. Now it's broken up by Jack. Now all four men in the ring, as the last man that wasn't bloodied, Samoa Joe, has now been bloodied. All four men are at risk of injury.
If I was Joe, I'd stick to performing and stop the showboat.
Jack getting fired up. But can he finish this match and pick up momentum as champion? Eric Young heavily bleeding now. As Jack is able to shove him aside, but Young gets right back to his feet and punches him from behind. And again, it's like Balor and Young are working together to try to take out Jack, and they do just that. Knee to the blade head of Young by Balor. Now Joe goes after him, and Young attacks both of them. Young, the lone man standing right now. Whether the lone man able to compete right now. Balor's on his feet, but taking lots of time to recover. Young needs to figure out what his next move is going to be. It's going to be repeatedly slamming the head of Joe into the mat, and here's Finn Balor.
Beautiful technique. Maybe Cruiserweight breaks through here. But this guy's out.
Jack makes his way back to the ring, goes after the down Samoa Joe with yet another choke slam. And that will connect for the fourth time in this match. Now Jack setting up for a finisher. It won't matter. I think he was aiming for Samoa Joe, and Joe was several feet away from him. Balor going for cover on Eric Young, and that's going to be accidentally broken up by Samoa Joe.
This could mean trouble.
Jack is going to try again for a finisher, but Balor collides into it, and that's going to break that up. Drop kick to the head of Jack by Balor. Eric Young misses with a lariat, connects with a gut punch to Balor. It sends him on the outside. Now what is Young going to do here? He's going to target the down Jack, but Jack had plenty of time to reverse. Suplex launches Young across the ring. Is Jack going to try to finish Young here? Yes, he is. At least I thought he was going to go for a cover, but instead... Oh, it's a submission. Smart move by Jack. Submission to the very bloodied head of Eric Young.
He releases it. And you can debate whether or not that would have been.
And still, Young is able to somehow break the hold. Joe is locking in a coquina clutch on Balor. And that's going to be broken up by Jack, as Young is sent to the outside. Jack clears the ring of Joe and now goes for cover on Balor, trying to take advantage of that coquina clutch. And still Balor gets out at 2.5. What's it going to take to have one of these men pick up a victory? All four men are very badly damaged, and yet nobody is willing to stay down. They know that this match has Super Showdown implications for all four men involved.
And that's how a superstar takes advantage of their ring position.
Joe and Eric Young would love to be the next challenger to Jack's U.S. title. And of course, Balor would love to improve his standings in the Intercontinental title picture. So, a lot at stake for all four men involved. Remember, Eric Young and Samoa Joe are both from Raw, so if either of them, so even though this is SmackDown, if one of them pins Jack, it's still considered a non-title victory. And that would increase their spot in the rankings by at least 2. Jack laid out, so is Balor, and Young targets Samoa Joe. As Jack is ropes is finally able to get back to his feet. Eric Young and Jack with a temporary alliance to try to take out Samoa Joe. Jack accidentally ends up hitting Eric Young instead. And now looking for a 5th choke slam. And that connection, I believe that's the 3rd one that's hit Joe. Is this going to put the match away? As Balor and Young are distracted with each other, but Young sees the cover and breaks it up as somehow Jack is even more heavily bleeding. And you have to wonder if Jack is at a point where he may come away with an injury following this match. You do not want to have to worry about injuries as your NC champion. Or any time, but even more so when you're champion. Jack has a great opportunity here with all 3 men down, and he focuses on Samoa Joe for the time being. And that sends him to the outside. Balor trying to get to his feet. And Jack would try to prevent that, and for Balor to get back to his feet anyway with a reversal. Now Jack sent to the outside, and here's an opportunity for Balor. Drop kick sends Jack crashing into the turnbuckle, and now Balor looking to finish this with a coup de grace. But Joe and Young are starting to stir again.
He's calling for it.
Coup de grace connects but does not hit Jack, but rather Samoa Joe, who is standing in the way. Not what Balor intended, but he's still connected with a move. So. Eric Young with a diving elbow drop. Joe and Balor are distracted on the outside. And Joe is able to keep this match going. Look at how bloodied all 4 men are, especially Jack and Samoa Joe. There's a knee to the head of Young. Burkina clutch locked in by Joe, but Balor breaks it up right away. Suplex from Joe to Jack. Very nearly put this match away, but I'm not sure if Jack got out of the cover himself or if Balor broke that up, but regardless, this match will continue. Jack once again is going to attempt a finisher. 3 Union Amigos. This time Eric Young the recipient. But he's only going to get 2 3 Union Amigos off before Balor breaks it up. Now Balor trying to pick his target as all 3 men are groggy or laid out, and he takes out Eric Young. Now focuses on Jack. He's able to fight off the suplex attempt with some punches to the chest and hits one of his own. Submission locked in. Joe struggling to break it up, but finally does. And now Jack and Samoa Joe are the lone men standing in Jack. How about a 6th choke slam and a 4th to Samoa Joe? Jack is exhausted, but does manage to go for the cover. This has to put Joe away, right? No, he powers out at 2. What's it going to take to keep one of these men down? They know that Super Showdown is just 3 days away, and WWE is calling this as good, if not better, than WrestleMania, and they want their spot on that card, and they're fighting tooth and nail to get it. Jack out of nowhere with another 3 Union Amigos, this time to Samoa Joe. And this time all 3 will connect. Jack goes for cover. Not sure if Balor and Young realize what's going on. Now Balor does, and he breaks it up. Jack clears the ring of Balor. Young just now coming back to his senses. Suplex by Jack. All 3 men laid out. This is a great opportunity. Never mind, Eric Young reverses. Belly-to-belly suplex from Young to Jack. Now Young turns his attention to Samoa Joe. Eric Young goes for the pin, and Joe must have somehow got a rope break as he powers out immediately. Balor back to the ring now and targeting the only other man standing, Eric Young, who reverses. connects with a drop kick. A very bloody Jack now makes his way back to his feet, and he targets Samoa Joe. And judging by how long this match is, we're probably going to have to do yet another 2-part episode, but hey, it's a good match that definitely has my attention. Set up powerbomb from Balor to Joe. Is this going to finish the match? Still Joe somehow finds it in him to power up. Now Jack's back into the ring. He lays out Finn Balor with a shoulder tackle. And Balor reverses with an uppercut. Jack responds with a reversal and a punch. Jack was looking for a powerbomb. That was broken up by Joe and sends Balor to the outside. Now Jack has Joe on the apron, rather on the ropes, and Joe is able to fight it off. Now Young and Joe, the only 2 men standing. Great opportunity here for Eric Young, but for some reason he pulled Joe back up to his feet, and that cost him as Joe was able to reverse. What is it going to take? As this match has gone at least half an hour. Jack is back to his feet, lays out Joe, lays out Young, but here comes Balor. What is Jack going to do now that all 3 opponents are down? He pulls Balor back to his feet. Balor is able to reverse with leg kicks. Joe crawls over to Young and tries to end this match, but broken up. Reversal from Joe to Jack, and that's going to send Jack rolling on to ringside as Joe taunts his opponents with a little finger wag there. Balor with the corner drop kick. Now Joe goes after Balor. Joe's thinking muscle buster with all 3 opponents down. This is a great opportunity for Samoa Joe. As Young starts stirring, so Joe needs to make his move quick. Jack is getting up as well, and Young is able to get back up in time to break up the cover. What will it take to end this match? Belly to belly from Young to Joe. Jack targets Balor, Young targets Joe. Jack with a massive power bomb to Finn Balor. And Jack may have been thinking choke slam, but that was broken up by Balor. As Young goes for cover. And the by far biggest underdog heading into this match, Eric Young, is going to be the man that pins. Probably the favorite in this match, Samoa Joe. Eric Young picks up the victory.
Here is your winner, Eric Young.
Alright, so when a match goes that long, you're definitely hoping for a payoff of the WITM member winning. Unfortunately, that was not the case. Jack is going to walk away with a no decision, and Eric Young, the littlest dog in the fight, but the one that ended up winning the match, is your victor. He defeated Samoa Joe. Finn Balor and Jack will each take a no decision. So Jack doesn't gain any momentum as US champion, but doesn't lose any either. And still a good match from start to finish. It had me intrigued. But now we turn our attention to the main event of SmackDown Live, where Corey comes in as the number 3 contender to Kevin Owens' WWE title. With a win and some help, he could potentially end up facing Kevin Owens for the WWE title in 3 Universe days at Super Showdown. But first, he needs to defeat possibly the toughest opponent SmackDown has to offer, the big dog, Roman Reigns. Before we get into this match, Corey, as always, has something to say. He went to Twitter to speak about what he is hoping to teach his 2 proteges, the masked men behind him, the one on the left known as the Reaper, and the one on the right known as the Hardcore Icon. What lesson is he going to attempt to teach those 2 men today? Let's head to Corey's Twitter feed to find out. And with that said, let's jump straight into the main event. Corey, in a must-win situation, takes on Roman Reigns in the main event of SmackDown Live with the Reaper and the Hardcore Icon in his corner.
Making his way to the ring from Pensacola, Florida, weighing in at
the bell. And here we go. This is the type of battle that you can show someone who's
There's the bell. This match is underway. I completely forgot until Corey made his entrance and everybody was cheering for him that Corey comes to this match as a face. Because for some reason the game turned Corey face after his victory last week when he and Drew McIntyre defeated the Sammy and KO show. So, interesting to see Corey getting cheered again. And I'm sure facing man that's in WWE Universe like Roman Reigns, he's probably the man that these fans are hoping to see win.
with these two guys, we all knew this was going to be an all-out battle. Hey,
Of course, these are two men that have said many times that whatever show they're on, they want to claim it as their own. SmackDown Live is their home right now, and Roman Reigns wants to turn it into his yard. Corey wants to turn it into what he calls the war zone. Of course, only one man can be the face of SmackDown Live as the Reaper attempts to distract Roman Reigns. I don't think he cares as much right now, but does allow Corey an opening for the bicycle kick.
Here we go. Beautiful.
Corey connects with a swinging neck breaker. These two men have quite a past as someone just slid a chair into the ring. A lot of history between the now disbanded Shield and Corey's old stable, the Purity Society. We're seeing the newest chapter of the rivalry between the former members right here.
So dangerous. Look at this.
Corey gets back to his feet following that punch as the Reaper tries to provide a distraction. Corey grabbed the chair with the referee distracted. Not exactly a maneuver you would see a face usually do, but the referee didn't see it. But Reigns counters with a Superman punch. Is this going to put Corey away quickly as the Reaper does his best to provide a distraction, and for some reason nobody cares what the Reaper's doing. And there's a stomp to the head. Reigns with a spear. And it connects. Corey in a bad way early on in this match. And manages to power out at 2, but he needs to get back on the attack and quick. Corey ain't exactly going to be teaching a whole lot to his proteges other than how to job out to Roman Reigns. Corey with a hip toss. Now going into mounted punches.
Looks to me like he still has plenty of energy in that body of his. I wouldn't look too much into this right now.
Getting several strikes there as the Reaper comes in to take a closer look. Corey's getting fired up.
Obviously is not the case here.
And Corey going for his comeback sequence. This will give him a free signature maneuver if it is successful. And it is. Is Corey going to use that signature maneuver now?
Oh man, Roman Reigns doesn't even know where he is.
He does. Here comes the Dark Descent. That connects. Now a stomp to the leg, and Corey turned momentum back into his favor here after Reigns got off to a very hot start in this match.
Now that got those shoulders
For the victory. And Reigns powers out at 2, and we have had a near fall now for both men. Is Corey going to look for the power of the cross finisher now? There it is. Power of the cross locked in.
Is he done?
Or actually, no, that's not the power of the cross. That's a different solution. That Reigns will break out of fairly quickly. Headbutt by Reigns. Reigns is able to easily lift the over 300-pound Corey and powerbomb him. Now drags Corey closer to center ring. Goes for cover, does Reigns pick up the victory here and ends Corey's WWE title hopes? No, he powers out at 2. Misses wildly with a kick to the back. There's an arm strip into the corner and a clothesline by Corey. Corey with the thumbs down, not impressed with his opponent tonight. And now locks in the power of the cross. Pretty good position too.
That's one of the most effective stretches you will ever see.
But Reigns is able to break the hold after some knee strikes and a punch to the head of Corey.
Does he have enough energy left to get back on the
Corey keeps up the offense. trying to pull out an old move out. Tried for the savior kick, but I don't think it connected. That's vintage Corey right there.
Be out of this match. Looks to me like you just hit
Corey drags Reigns closer to the ropes.
feet around the ropes.
Dirty pin. Corey not exactly using face tactics here. Dirty pin, and we saw him almost use a steel chair with the ref's back turn earlier.
When this guy's on,
There's a swinging neck breaker. And Corey's starting to get tired. Can he keep up the attack? You need to be 100% to be the superstar the caliber of Roman Reigns.
great job escaping, trying to turn this thing around.
And Reigns capitalizing off that exhaustion, just shoving Corey aside.
This guy.
Corey able to fight off the grapple attempt, but Reigns finally manages to connect with a move, and now looking for the spear. But this time it's the hardcore icon running interference. As I don't see the Reaper anymore, I don't know if he might have gotten thrown out of the ringside. Corey with mounted punches.
Seriously injured.
There's a huge diving fist drop by Corey to Reigns. Clothesline by Reigns, and now he's getting fired up. But that allows Corey time to at least get back to his feet on the apron. And there's a reversal by Reigns. I still do not see the Reaper. Oh, there's the Reaper. Never mind. He's still up ringside. Just hiding somewhere. Reigns heads back into the ring, now joined by Corey. Corey, for the second time, connects with the Dark Descent.
That's what he was looking for, Michael.
Now a foot DDT. Corey is exhausted, but he needs to capitalize off the Dark Descent.
Enemy hit. Ooh, what impact. What an assault on Roman Reigns.
Power of the Cross locked in once again,
But can he follow up here?
and not locked in very long. Corey goes for an elbow strike. Broken up by Reigns. Reigns hits the suplex. There's a stomp to the chest.
There's the pin.
Reigns goes for cover, and that was nearly enough to put Corey away. Just a simple stomp to the chest. But he powers out at 2.5 as Reigns argues with the official, and now argues with the hardcore icon, who provides a distraction that allows Corey to connect. Reigns reversing for the shoulder tackle. Now looking for. It doesn't matter. I think he's going for a spear, and Corey kicked him out of midair.
He's looking at it.
And that allows Corey to get a free signature maneuver for reversing a finisher, and he uses a Dark Descent to bust open Roman Reigns. Now a fastball punch, making a target of that bloodied head of Reigns. Taunts him before going for a cover.
And he manages.
And did Corey get the pin? No. That looks like Corey might have pinned him to me, but the referee says no, this match continues. What's it going to take to keep down the big dog? Corey throwing everything he can at Reigns, and now a third power of the cross. That is immediately broken up.
Roman Reigns' chances has went from bad to worse.
Corey absolutely has to win this match if he has even a chance of getting a WWE title rematch against Owens at Super Showdown. Reigns powers out at 2.
I am in shock. What's it going to take to keep this guy down?
Corey targeting that very bloodied head of Roman Reigns. Showing good technical offense here. This hold is locked in well. But Reigns is able to get back to his feet. And breaks up the hold with a series of elbow strikes. Belly to belly suplex connects. As Reigns is going to take some time to recover. He's in a bad way here. Heavily bleeding.
At this point,
And
it
of
looks
course,
like
Reigns would love that WWE title match as well. So a lot at stake here for both men as Corey gets back to his feet without Reigns stopping him. And I'm not sure what Reigns was thinking there. Corey basically got a free shot in with that bicycle kick. Reigns is able to reverse with a clothesline.
Talking about something now.
Reigns, I believe, was heading into the corner to set up for a spear, but once again distracted by the hardcore icon. And that allows Corey to get back to his feet, only to get a kick from Reigns and a punch to the head. And now Reigns is going to get the game for the spear. Or no, it's a Superman punch this time around. And that connects and busts Corey open. Corey is able to get away from Reigns and get back to his feet before Reigns can capitalize, however. And I think we're at a point right now where the next man to hit a finisher is going to be the man that wins the match. There's a stop to the head. Reigns, speaking of the next finisher, Reigns is looking for it. And that connects. Corey's given it all he's gotten, but he's in a bad way and he just took a spear. The hardcore icon pulls the referee out of the ring. That likely would have been a Reigns victory were it not for the hardcore icon. The Reaper, the hardcore icon, definitely have shown their loyalty thus far in this match. They're doing everything that they can to make sure that Corey gets a Super Showdown for a WWE title match. But Reigns with a Superman punch, as I believe was the hardcore icon who just got thrown out by the official. Indeed, the hardcore icon is headed to the back as Corey drags Reigns closer to the ring and locks in a fourth power of the cross. And Reigns gets out of it. And now Corey drags Reigns closer to the ring. If he can't beat him by submission, he'll try to beat him by pinfall. And does just that with a lot of help from the hardcore icon and the Reaper. Corey defeats Roman Reigns, and now he will pay close attention to the rankings update and see if he gets a WWE title match against Owens in 3 days at Super Showdown.
He ain't playing here.
Here is your winner, Corey.
I'm alive. A revolution lies inside. I'm alive. No longer will this hate divide. Now I'll stand. I will fight just to survive. I won't be denied. I'm a warrior inside. This is the war between you and I.
Following a huge victory over Roman Reigns in the main event, Corey has requested a microphone. He is now addressing the WWE Universe. What does he have to say? So I have just been told by a WWE official that this win makes me the #1 contender to the WWE title. And that should say something about my title match against the WWE Champion Kevin Owens at Super Showdown. But the thing is, I regret to inform you all that I will not be going to Saudi Arabia to compete for the WWE title at Super Showdown. Because after talking with WWE officials and my friends and family, thinking over it and praying over it, we all feel that it is in my best interest to not go to Saudi Arabia due to my personal beliefs and how they may react to things I've said in the past. However, Triple H did say that he owes me one after I saved him from getting fired by Vince after WrestleMania 34 last year. So, I'd like to cash in that favor now and have a very capable man take my place in that WWE title match. Corey now turns to one of his two proteges, which one of them is going to get that WWE title opportunity in Corey's place. Hardcore Icon. I want you to take my place against Kevin Owens and challenge him for the WWE title at Super Showdown. Take the Reaper with you to watch your back, and remember everything that I've taught you over these last few weeks. Because if you win, not only will you be the WWE Champion, but the world will learn your name, because I will make sure of it personally. You have my full support, and I will be watching. So go and seize this opportunity. There you have it, an interesting turn of events. Corey earned the WWE title match against Kevin Owens for the WWE title he has coveted for the last 2 years, has set his sights on achieving, and yet, now that he has opportunity, he says he will not go to Saudi Arabia to challenge Kevin Owens for the WWE title. Instead, one of his two proteges, one of the two masked men, the Hardcore Icon, is going to be going to Saudi Arabia in Corey's place to challenge Kevin Owens for the WWE title. That means that both major championships will be defended against a WITM member. Brock Lesnar will defend the Universal title against Captain Casey, and Kevin Owens will defend the WWE title against the Hardcore Icon, making his in-ring debut. And Corey said, should the Hardcore Icon become WWE Champion and bring the WWE title back to the States, Corey will reveal his name and identity. So, Super Showdown is shaking up to be very, very interesting. Don't forget, Ayat Master came into this SmackDown Live, the number one contender to the Intercontinental title. If things shaked out the way he needs them to in the results, he'll challenge Shelton Benjamin for the Intercontinental title at Super Showdown. So that would make 3 title matches. Let's take a look at the results and rankings update and get some more clarity on the Super Showdown card. Shelton Benjamin was set to face wildcard from Raw The Miz before he was attacked by Ayat Master, so of course that means that match is a no contest. Eric Young put up the upset, defeating Samoa Joe in her first of 2 WITM matches on this card. Finn Balor and WITM's Jack took the no decision. The team of Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose defeated the Kabuki Warriors. The Planet's tag team, Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan, defeated the Colognes. The WWE Champion Kevin Owens defeated Lars Sullivan in non-title action, and Corey defeated Roman Reigns. And how does this affect the rankings on SmackDown, as well as for the 4 wildcards that appeared from Raw, their rankings? Let's find out. The Women's Tag Team Champions are the Iconics, number contenders Rose and Neville, and number 2, the Kabuki Warriors. The SmackDown Women's Singles Champion is Charlotte Flair, number contender Bayley, number 2, Ember Moon, number 3, Carmella, and number 4, Lana. The SmackDown Tag Team Champions are the Colognes, number contenders the Planet's Tag Team, number 2, Rusev Nakamura, number 3, Heavy Machinery, and number 4, the B Team. The Intercontinental Champion is Shelton Benjamin, number 1 contender, and his opponent at Super Showdown with the Intercontinental title on the line will be WITM's Ayat Master. Ayat Master has done what's necessary, although playing a little dirty on this edition of SmackDown. He will challenge Shelton Benjamin one-on-one for the Intercontinental title at Super Showdown. I mean, we now have 3 confirmed WITM matches at Super Showdown. Number 2 is Finn Balor, number 3, Andrade, number 4, Buddy Murphy, number 5, Elias, number 6, Apollo Crews, number 7, Chad Gable, number 8, R-Truth, and number 9, Mustafa Ali. The WWE Champion is Kevin Owens. I'm not sure why the game didn't save my rankings update for this, but Lars Sullivan lost, so it drops to number 3. Then Corey won and becomes number 1 contender. So the WWE Champion is Kevin Owens, number 1 contender Corey, but it will be the Hardcore Icon taking Corey's place at Saudi Arabia to challenge Kevin Owens for the WWE title. Number 2, Kofi Kingston. Number 3, Lars Sullivan. Number 4, Dolph Ziggler. Number 5, Randy Orton. And number 6, Roman Reigns. So now we move on to 205 Live, where we see Gerald, Austin Rage, or the Cruiserweight Champion Andrew Spudstrong in action.